Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. We are in day 47 and we continue our inner exploration of the relationship between our thoughts and the atmosphere we create and contribute to. Let us consider a simple truth. Every thought is a ripple, whether we are conscious of it or not. Our thoughts extend beyond us, influencing others and subtly shaping the emotional and spiritual field around us. In heartfulness, we begin to realize that the ripple effect is not symbolic, it is real. Our inner climate is continuously reflected outward, just as a serene lake reflects the sky above. So, what ripples are we sending into the world? Are they calm, kind, or nurturing? Or are they restless, reactive, and clouded by personal agenda? When we learn to hold our thoughts in stillness, to allow them to arise from the heart's wisdom rather than the mind's chatter, we begin to change the atmosphere around us without uttering a word. Yogic psychology teaches us that thought is the subtlest form of action. A kind thought sown in silence can blossom into a gesture of compassion. A quiet judgment, even if never spoken, can weigh down a relationship. This is why inner refinement is essential. Our abhyas helps us cultivate thoughts that are not just intelligent but elevated, full of purity, surrender, and light. As we deepen our meditation, our thoughts naturally become more silent, more spacious, more pious, more pure. We start noticing the gap between stimulus and response. And in that gap, we gain the freedom to choose, to create an inner atmosphere that supports harmony, then agitation. Dear sisters and brothers, if you are experiencing the transformative effect of BHED sessions and heartfulness master classes, please do consider inviting others also into it. And this evening, we will resume our inspirational reading, which is from the article Yogic Psychology by Beloved Taji. We have read a few paragraphs in the last few days, and we will continue our reading from where we had left yesterday. As an aside, there is something relevant to say about the effect of this identification on the divergence of science and spirituality. At least by the 1600s. Remember the famous pronouncement of Rene Descartes, ego cogito ergo sum, meaning, I think, therefore I am. The real fact is that thinking is due to my existence. What is that grants the ability of the mind to think? Descartes reasoned that he could be certain he existed because he thought, whereas he perceived his body through the use of the senses, which were often unreliable. He concluded that the only true knowledge came from thinking. He also concluded that the thinking power came from his assets. Descartes defined thought as what happens in me, such that I am immediately conscious of it, insofar as I am conscious of it. Thinking for Descartes was every activity of which he was immediately conscious. As a result, Descartes discarded perception as unreliable and accepted only deduction as a true method. This became the basis of the scientific method, which still underpins science today and does not accept direct perception as a way of obtaining true knowledge. Why were the senses unreliable for Descartes? Because of the culprits in the field of consciousness due to the formation of samskars, effectively the kleshas. But is it really possible, even for thinking to be correct, when the field of consciousness is impure? It becomes difficult for intellect to arrive at the correct inference with impurities boiling consciousness. As scientists have found during the 20th century, the outcome of any scientific experiment is dependent on the mind of the observer. The importance of purity of consciousness is as important in the field of science as in the field of spirituality. When we identify our being with thinking, it is identified with an instrument only and becomes a source of egoism. This is the current plight of humanity. Per contra, two yogis first purify their consciousness through practice before even attempting to understand the world. They also identify with the soul. That way, the true witness, the soul can use the instrument of consciousness, intellect, thinking, and the senses, as well as superconscious perception, to arrive at the best possible answer. The answer can then, of course, also be verified by the scientific method whenever there are measurable variables, but not everything can be measured by science. Coming back to Asmita, our mental health and well being is dependent on what we identify with. The soul is unchangeable. So, when I'm identifying with the soul, can I become angry or sad? No. But when I like or dislike, when I have attachment and aversion, then I can have a reaction, positive or negative. And then it is possible to become angry or sad. I have identified with the instruments of seeing, not the seer. And so I feel pleasure and pain. And on top of this, we will identify still more externally with family members, friends, office colleagues, and associates, ourselves with them with an emotional bond. So we move farther and farther from our individual center. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take a moment and allow the insights of these words to ripple gently through us. We will now offer the universal prayer together. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है. When this universal prayer awakens the highest love and emotion within the hearts of all. Dear sisters and brothers, as the day draws to a close, reflect not only on what you did, but what you thought. What was the tone of your inner dialogue today? Did you pause before reacting? Did you catch a judgment and replace it with compassion? These are the quiet victories that shape our inner and outer worlds. Let your bedtime prayer be a gentle surrender of all that no longer serves. Offer it with gratitude and openness. Beloved Master, ready to begin again tomorrow with a clear heart. Dear sisters and brothers, we will continue our journey reflecting and contemplating further on the same theme, thoughts and atmosphere. And each day brings a new layer of insight and a deeper opportunity to observe how our inner worlds shapes the space around us. Thank you for being here for this evening session today. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the morning session, which is going to be at 6 a.m. Until then, may your thoughts be calm, your heart be open, and your atmosphere be luminous. Wishing you all a very good night.